Good morning, fifth graders. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. So for the rest of this week, for our reading for this nonfiction unit, we are going to focus on how we summarize information for nonfiction text. We're going to start with the same article. We're using the same article on 6 Truths About Slavery, and we are going to start small and then work overall with the overall summarizing of the article. But today I'm going to model for you how we do that with just one of the sections, and then you're going to do that for homework for the activity today and for homework for the other section. The good thing about summarizing is you've already been doing this work. We are going to use this guide to nonfiction summary right here. It's called Writing Nonfiction Summary in your files today. So what we do here is we're going to use this piece of paper to write our overall summary for nonfiction articles. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to write one sentence here that includes the author, the title, and the section or the page numbers of what we read. But for now, it's going to be sections because this is so nicely divided into those 6 sections for those 6 truths about slavery. This right here, linking ideas, this is the final summary that we are going to write using all of our work here. So just like when we talked about main idea, we broke our article apart into main ideas and then supporting details, and then we wrote about the overall main idea. That's exactly what we do for our summary. We write about the overall main ideas that we laid out. So you're going to write the first one here that says introduction. You're going to skip the second one to the end. Then you're going to write one main idea that you learned from your section and a supporting detail to prove it. A second main idea you learned from your section and a supporting detail to prove it. And then a third main idea from your section, a supporting detail to prove it. You're just going to combine those main ideas to make one bigger main idea, and you have just summarized your nonfiction article. Again, this is purposely building on the work that you've already done. You're very familiar with writing main ideas and breaking articles down and focusing on the information specifically to look at it overall. So I know you're going to be prepared and ready for this today. So yesterday we started reading 6 Truths About Slavery. Before I have you reading the final pages, we're going to read the same thing that we focused on yesterday. We are just going to look for the summarizing of this. So I'm going to model for you, because yesterday I summarized this for you with my video. So I'm going to summarize for you the second page. All enslaved people were mistreated. I'm just going to do this page with the paragraphs, and of course, always taking into consideration the text features. All you are going to do is just summarize this next section. Enslaved people often fought back. You don't have to do anything other than that. We are just focusing on one section at a time. So I'm going to read this here, and I'm going to fill out the sheet of paper, and you're going to do the exact same thing for our lesson today. So the first thing that I want to do and look at this piece of paper is fill out this introduction sentence here. Again, each one of these boxes is going to be one sentence until we get to the end. So right here, I'm going to make sure I include the author, the title, and the section of what I'm working on, which our overall title is 6 Truths About Slavery. The author are the editors of the Junior Scholastic, and my section is called All Enslaved People Were Mistreated. So I'm going to write here 6 truths. Remember, we always capitalize the same way that an article is capitalized. 6 Truths About Slavery is written by the editors of Junior Scholastic. Since it's the title, I'm going to put in quotation marks. This section is all enslaved. Let me just double check, making sure I'm writing it right. All enslaved people were mistreated. All enslaved people were mistreated. So once I have my one sentence of introduction, including all of these things, I'm then going to skip this box because that's the end summary and move on to my first main idea and supporting detail. So as I work on this, I'm going to start reading until I feel like the first main idea, the first topic has come to mind. Slavery was a racist and cruel institution that denied Black people human rights and freedom. To keep enslaved people from rebelling and breaking their spirits, their enslavers tortured them physically and emotionally. Now I'm going to stop here because I already have words that are in bold. We know that text features enhance our learning, and they communicate to us about the important parts. So the fact that it's already in bold words helps me realize that's probably our first topic. So I'm going to write for my first main idea, enslavers tortured them physically and emotionally. Of course, I'm going to put it in my own words, and I'm going to say slaves were tortured physically and emotionally. That's going to be my main idea number 1. Remember, we're only writing one sentence. Now I'm going to keep reading to find a supporting detail. Many enslaved people were savagely whipped, beaten, and shackled, sometimes daily. They lived in fear that their children and parents could be taken from them at any moment or sold or given away as gifts. They were forced to do backbreaking labor for no pay and were denied the right to move freely, assemble in groups, and learn to read and write. So I'm just stopping there because that's the full paragraph. But all of those are about 3 or 4 supporting details. I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick that they lived in fear that they could be separated or taken away at any moment, because that proves the emotional torture. They lived in fear of being, I should say, clarify who they is. Families lived in fear of being separated or sold away at all times. Constantly living in fear. Okay. I'm going to move on. Now I'm looking for a second main idea. In the face of such brutal treatment, and often hoping to reunite with their families, many enslaved people tried to run away. Again, there's my both words. A text feature that's telling me this is an important part, the next topic. I know it's the next topic because it's different from they're tortured physically and emotionally. They tried to run away. There's a second topic right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop and write that. Many slaves tried to run away. Again, we're just writing one sentence. Attempting to escape was extremely risky. Enslavers often ran ads in newspapers offering rewards for the return of fugitives. Countless enslaved people were tried to flee or caught, beaten, and returned to bondage. Okay, so I have a lot of more supporting details there to prove that they tried to run away. I'm going to say ads or ran a newspaper offering rewards. Ads ran in newspapers offering rewards for the return of runaway slaves. Again, I know it's a supporting detail because it's proving to me that many slaves did try to run away. How do I know that? Ads was a big, expensive production to do, and they wouldn't be put in the newspapers if there weren't that many people that were trying to escape. So that proves to me that there were many slaves trying to run away if there were newspaper articles written about them. So now I'm just going to look for my third main idea. Yet about 100,000 enslaved people made it to freedom. Many fled to Canada or joined Black communities in swamps and other isolated areas. On rare occasions, some enslaved people were able to buy their freedom. Okay, I'm also going to make sure that I look at the text features because we never, ever, ever want to ignore the text features on this page. And yesterday, I went over this, so I remember that we were also, this picture here shows the intensity of a punishment, the seriousness that they did take slaves' freedom or slaves running away even harsher by actually tackling them and use them as an example. And I learned here that if slaves did make it to freedom, families stepped up and raised children if they were separated. So what I'm going to write here is some slaves made it to freedom. Others were used as an example to scare. Oops. Not me to do that. Some slaves made it to freedom, while others were used as an example to scare others into not escaping. Okay, now I'm just looking for one supporting detail. I think I can use this text feature here. This proves that what was actually happened to those slaves, to use them as an example, is that they were shackled around their neck and their legs to scare others. Slaves were shackled by the neck and legs to scare off other slaves thinking to do the same. Great. So once I have completed my article, identified my 3 main ideas and 3 supporting details that goes along with it, I'm going to read through each of the main ideas to try to connect all of them together into one big idea. So what I have is slaves were tortured physically and mentally. Many slaves tried to run away. Some slaves made it to freedom, while others were used as an example to scare others into not escaping. So I can actually rewrite that right here for my summary. Slaves were tortured physically and emotionally, so much so that many tried to escape. Some slaves made it to freedom, while others were captured and used as examples. Right, so I changed up a little bit to make it just have a better flow. But basically what you want to do is just rewrite those main ideas here. And now we have our summary. Just 3 simple sentences that summarizes this entire section here. So you're going to do the exact same thing for your homework, doing enslaved people often fight back. Just using these ones. Be mindful of the text features as you read, or the bolded words that the author trying to show you. This is a really important part. Make sure that you're using other text features of captions and photographs and important words, things like that. And best of luck. Have a great day.